What's up, everyone? I hope you guys are excited as we are because the market is ripping right now and we have a lot of awesome setups for tomorrow. In today's video, we have some scary slash interesting news with Coke, and I'll tell you this, it's not the type you drink, but and on another note, we have stocks just ripping to the upside right now. We've seen multiple stocks just like turn on their rocket boosters and, make recent highs. So there's a lot of opportunity going into the market tomorrow. You guys better stick with us towards the end of the video today. But with that being said, Tom, let's jump right into it.
It was another one of those days, and when I say another one of those days, man, the stock market just kept going to the upside. Nvidia had another insane move, plus 4.73%. And as I look at my watch list today, man, Mike, I see some insane runners here, like Coinbase, up 24.49% at close. Look at the way this baby ran up all day long. Obviously, it opened, it didn't move too much, but once we got some news coming in midday, it really exploded there. We had Rocket Lab moving. Plug Power was up like 7%. And then we actually had Snowflake, Mike, really moving, plus 7% as well with Square and Shopify. So we had some stocks really booming to the upside. There were a couple that fell, like XPEV, NEO. Some of those China stocks actually had a fairly weird day, especially the China EV stocks. But then again, Lucid fell down too. But I don't want to take that away from the market though, Mike, because the rest of the market did so well. Like, to see Nvidia do that again is just mind-blowing to me.
Exactly. Like, Nvidia made a brand new all-time high today, and it was just like a tsunami of buying pressure that just came out of nowhere today in multiple different industries and just multiple different stocks, right? There was a ton of buying pressure. And what's interesting is right now for the NASDAQ, we can see on this chart right here, it is having a run right now that truly stands out from the rest. So what you can see is that orange line is the NASDAQ right now, and all of the other lines are, the NASDAQ in previous years. The NASDAQ right now is just setting the tone, hopefully for the rest of the year and for years going forward. But it goes to show you how much power and momentum and volume that the market is running with right now, because honestly, it's not even close to like any other years recently. Like, it's crazy. Stocks are ripping.
Yeah, and usually I'm seeing here, there was a couple years that were kind of keeping up with this, and then they ended up falling off in around, May, June. So, to see us still doing this and staying up as high as we are is amazing. And this is a really cool chart to see, Mike, because it really puts into perspective how explosive the market has been this year. Whether you're looking at Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, all those stocks, some of the biggest market cap stocks out there were having amazing moves. So it's crazy to see, Mike. It's an awesome chart, and I'm really glad we found this one because it really puts into perspective, just the sheer, I guess you could just say, like, the sheer amount of uptrend that we've been seeing lately. And I wouldn't be surprised if it continued into the end of the year either, especially with inflation continuing to fall and stuff like that. It's been pretty good lately, actually.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who've been around the channel for long enough, always know how we preach, having a long-term portfolio and especially dollar cost averaging. And I'll say this right now, Tom, the people who've been doing that might get a steak dinner tonight because the way stocks are ripping, it's pretty remarkable. So that's great there. But I know a lot of us have been, having our eyes on Amazon lately, as it has been Prime Day. And Amazon actually had their best Prime Day in company history. So that was awesome to see. Their sales jumped 6.1% year over year, which is awesome to see. They're beating inflation, at least if you believe the CPI report coming in at 3%. But either way, their sales came in around $12.7 billion for Prime Day. And there we go. It's good news for the company.
Yeah, that's awesome. $12.7 billion. And what's even better is that Amazon actually just had a pretty good break today above recent resistance as well. We can see that Amazon on the chart was really stuck down here. There was a big resistance right around 131 to 132. And to see us finally get up through there today was amazing. Like I said, we were stuck there for a couple weeks all the way back to Thursday, June 22nd. So actually longer than I even thought, Mike. But yeah, that's a good breakout today. Glad to see it. And that's actually a nice daily chart breakout too. I know it looks crazy on the daily chart because I have so many intraday lines here, but you can really see that candle here extending out above that range. So hopefully we keep going. And I think that there's definitely a possibility of that with all the momentum coming in. It seems like these continuations are just nonstop lately.
Exactly. And, while it's good to see stocks going up, a lot of traders and just people are becoming what we'll call less miserable. So there's this thing that exists called the misery index. And essentially how it works is it combines inflation and the unemployment data. So like if there's super high unemployment and there's super high inflation, it's like the world sucks right now, but we could see this chart has been declining significantly over the past couple years, and that's a good thing. At least in theory, people are becoming less miserable. And, on the math side of things, it makes sense as inflation has come down a lot over the past year and unemployment's still pretty low. So, I guess if you're looking for something to be positive about, the world's becoming a little bit less miserable.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty crazy. Whenever you showed me this chart, I actually just started bursting out laughing. I was like, a misery index? How can you tell if people are miserable or not? But it makes sense. If inflation's really high and we have bad unemployment, obviously people are going to be hurting a little bit more. So it's good to see that number coming down, especially whenever a lot of people were thinking that the Feds were going to be making it a little bit tougher on people. I don't know, Mike. The Feds kept talking about raising interest rates and everything like that, which they were doing, and they were trying to create, bring job numbers down and obviously drop that inflation rate down a little bit lower, and it was supposed to hurt people a little bit, but it looks like it really hasn't, to be honest. The only time they were hurt was really COVID and just maybe at more the beginning of this year.
Yeah, for sure. And then, when inflation rises, of course, it hurts everyone, and we could definitely see that in the chart for sure. But on a different note, Tom, it's now time to talk about some Coke. And like I said in the intro, not the type you drink. So just a couple days ago, the White House found cocaine, in the White House. And after 11 days, the Secret Service has no idea where it came from, and there's not one suspect. So I would say this is a little bit weird for arguably one of the most secure buildings on Earth.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know how that happens. Imagine that. Somebody brought cocaine into the White House and got away with it. I mean, come on now. That sounds really crazy to me. Now, I know that there's actually, a lot of senators and stuff like that who have been said to use cocaine, and obviously a lot of high-profile people out there have used it before. So I'm not saying it's totally impossible that this would happen. But it's definitely interesting, Mike. It's definitely the Coke you're not drinking, that's for sure. And for being one of the most secure buildings out there, I'm very surprised that they don't have at least one suspect. And who knows, it might even be Biden's son. I mean, for God's sakes, everyone always talks about him doing stuff like that.
I just don't understand how, the White House, of all buildings, you have no idea, not one suspect. To me, that's a little bit sus, but whatever, I guess. It is what it is. But I thought it was interesting, and I'm sure a couple people got a kick out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy. And especially whenever you hear of things whenever all those people stormed the Capitol buildings and stuff, somehow they were able to find, everything about about all those people. So I don't know. You would think that they'd be able to find something. I think they're covering something up here.
I guess we'll maybe we'll know one day, but then again, maybe not. So we'll see what happens. But Tom, we have some exciting earnings for tomorrow. We're just starting to get back into earnings season. What is on the schedule?
Yeah, so we have the big banks. We've been waiting for it for a long time. The big banks are usually what kind of kick off earnings season. And shout out to Earnings Whispers for always putting out these fantastic charts. Thank you to them. But I really like this here. Big banks reporting tomorrow. JP Morgan, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, BlackRock even. So maybe keep something out for something about the new Bitcoin ETF. Maybe they'll mention it or something like that. But definitely interesting tomorrow, Mike. These banks are always on watch, and as we know, they're just so crucial to the economy, so hopefully we see some good numbers out of them.
And Tom, I know I'm going to be pretty excited with the economic schedule, because I know there's not really much going on for tomorrow, but what do we have going on? What's on the schedule?
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good for tomorrow. Michigan consumer sentiment, like you said, I might have to let you down a little bit, but next week we actually have retail sales on Tuesday, so that'll be pretty big. But I don't think those consumer sentiment numbers are going to be anything near what we've seen this week, like with the inflation data and everything like that. The biggest thing is going to definitely be those bank earnings for sure.
I was just gonna say that. So what you're telling me is forget the forget the economic schedule for now at least, and focus on the bank stocks, and I'll accept that for sure. Normally, like J.P. Morgan, obviously they're a bank stock. They're more of like the consistent type bank stock that's definitely a leader. So tomorrow morning, definitely keep an eye on them. That'll give you a good idea how the banking industry overall is doing. Obviously, if they crash, there might be a problem. But if they're doing fine, then that tells you exactly what's going on. On the other hand, I should say, Wells Fargo is kind of like the crazy brother to JP Morgan, where it's like, it has wilder moves every now and then. And this one also has some really good volume and like options liquidity as well. So if you're looking for a crazy trade tomorrow, consider Wells Fargo.
Yeah, it might not be bad. There's actually like a bit of like a double, triple top going on here, right around like 43.75. You can even use this high from the other day around 43.85 if you really want. But I think that'll definitely be a good one to watch. And, we always like to say this. We're not usually a big fan of trading things into earnings, but after earnings, they actually become pretty attractive, I think.
Yeah, I agree completely. So with that being said, let's jump right into our setups for tomorrow. Now, Tom, I have to go with the same one I was talking about yesterday and even last week, and that is Beyond Meat, the fake meat company, baby. So this one did not really do too much today, but that does not mean it did bad. So, for example, yesterday the stock just ripped to the upside off some great news and volume too. Now, today it just kind of did nothing. But it gapped down, and throughout the whole day, it just made higher and higher lows. So that is not a bad sign at all. I think if Beyond Meat can see like a great break above like $18, but then after that, like $18 and like 37 cents, 38 cents, this thing can really move. But we need a true break. Like, I don't want to see a break where like it just touches resistance and it falls under. Like, I want to see like a nice rip through resistance, and if that happens, I think this thing can really boom. So that's my watch.
Yeah, I like it. That's a nice level to watch. I think that's definitely going to be an awesome day trading strat for tomorrow, waiting for that breakout. And I think the momentum could definitely come in on Beyond. It's still holding up there fairly well. So I like to see that today too, Mike. And, we saw Coinbase go crazy. I got to go with Mara today for one of my plays, 14.47% today. If it breaks out above like this double top end of day, right around $19.50, I'll be looking for a push up to $20, maybe even higher if we get enough volume coming in. Man, these stocks have been insane with Bitcoin lately. And when I go look at Bitcoin USD's chart, you go out to a daily, they are actually breaking recent highs right around 31,500. So that was a great break today, and I'm hoping that brings some continuations back into this stock or back into crypto and then Mara, which is a stock.
Beautiful. All right, another stock I'm watching is one of those crazy stocks, Alibaba. And essentially, this stock had a decent day today. What I really like about this stock is that it does not care what the market overall does. So it's like when you're trading a company like, let's say, AMD or Apple or Microsoft or whatever, it's like if the market's tanking, it's like, you're kind of at the mercy of the market. Where with a company or stock like Alibaba, it does not care at all what the overall market's doing, and I think that's a good thing in this market. So I am watching it to the upside, and again, I want to see some good momentum with this one. It is pretty common to see like these Chinese stocks gap up a lot or gap down a lot in pre-market, but like sometimes you can have like a stock like Alibaba gap up by like 2 to 3% and then run another 4% if the news or volume is good enough. So I am watching Alibaba to the upside. I will say this though, keep a very close eye on that $100 level, as there is some pretty strong resistance right around there.
Yeah, that's going to be big. $100. That might actually be a good target to the upside, maybe. Like if people get into some momentum, it could maybe be a good area to target. But I do like BABA as well. You know, it was very surprising to me to see BABA running up so much today, especially like whenever NEO did pretty bad, down 3.58%. Now, I know the other China stocks like Baidu and JD held up a lot better, so at least that was good to see. So out of the China stocks, I was just a little sad with NEO there today. And with my second play of the day, I'm actually going to go with Square. So Square had a great day, up 6.99%, almost 7%. A lot of people were loving this one. It actually got about $75 today. Nice double top end of day as well, around 76.65. If we can break that tomorrow, I'll definitely look for more momentum. There's just so many opportunities to the upside right now. I will say, though, if these do start pulling back, just be adaptable. You know, you might have to start to trade some puts if you're a day trader tomorrow, if there is a pullback. But, you know, for right now, I would definitely try to ride that momentum if it continues to go.
Sounds great. And there's been so much momentum in the market lately. If you are into short-term trading, definitely check this out. Our bots crushed it today. We can see we had a snow alert for a call option, alerted at $303 each. By the end of the day, this thing was at $710 each. It was a home run style play, and it only gets better. If we go to the bot stats channel, we have other bots that called out a ton of call options all day long. We had one PANW option pop by 580%. We had some Coinbase call options pop for over 300%. And like the worst play in the bot stats channel popped for 251% today. So if you're looking to get in on this action, check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. Not only do you get access to our, like our sniper bot, which was a snow play, you also get access to swing plays, multi-million-dollar hedge fund, exact trades every single day before the market closes. And you can chat with Tom and myself all day long. We essentially live in Discord. Like, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit how much time I spend just watching Discord, but hey, it's good for everyone who signs up. But either way, if you're looking to get in on this action, check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. People have been crushing it lately. In the worst case scenario, you can cancel at any time. And Tom, while we're in the Discord, we might as well give a giant shout out to today's member of the day, Sleeve, who said, "It was my first alert that I followed with you guys. Just wanted to say thanks. I'm learning so much with you guys." And he's up over $324 on this play we were just talking about. So awesome job, Sleeve. Huge shout out to you, and thanks for the kind words.
Yeah, that's amazing. 150% on that play there with Snowflake. Good stuff, Sleeve. Thanks for the kind words there and the shout out. And hey, nice job on Member of the Day today. Good trading, and keep it up. You know, if you have another great gain tomorrow, post it up. Maybe you'll get it again soon.
Yeah, that would be awesome, Tom. I don't think we've had a back-to-back Member of the Day. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Sleeve. If you have a 150% gain on Friday tomorrow, we might have to give you it for Sunday night's video.
True, but don't over leverage though. We don't want you doing anything stupid. So trade with discipline. Trade with discipline. Do the same thing you did today, and who knows? Maybe you'll be our first back-to-back member of the day. So. Great stuff there. But Tom, it's now time for those momentum plays. So let's jump right into them. With the first one, we have Affirm to the upside.
AFRM, nice move to the upside today, and there was a bit of intraday resistance actually right around like 1775. So if we can get through there, I'll look for calls.
All right, with the next one, we have Upwork to the upside.
UPWK, Mike, you've been talking about this one nonstop lately, and it just keeps going. So why not, right? Let's go ahead and make it break above 1090. If you want to be safe, you can use $11, but I think even a break of 1090 would work tomorrow.
All right, and then with the last one, we have SQ, and we need both directions.
Yeah, Square, one of mine there. So make it break above 76.65, that high of day. Now, if it does pull back, because Square is pretty damn overextended, I can't lie. If it ends up falling under like 75.75, then maybe look at some puts. You could maybe target it real quick down to 75.30, maybe take some profits there and then hold them for a little bit more of a gain. But if you do get puts, I wouldn't hold them too long in this type of market.
Sounds good. So we have that downside level for SQ. If it breaks below that, we're watching it for puts. We have the upside level as well. If it breaks above that, we're watching it for calls. Don't forget about UPWK and AFRM for the upside levels as well. If they break above those, we're watching them for calls. But it is now time for the big money $1.788 million trade of the day. And we are looking at none other than SQ again. So it's like the third mention of the video. But SQ, I actually really do like this setup though. So on a serious note, SQ has been moving to the upside in a good way. And essentially, we'll call it someone dumped $1.8 million into the $62.50 strike call options that expire on June 21st of 2024. Square, now known as Block, is a growth stock that has had a wild ride over the past couple years. Right now, it's sitting right around $76. It has all-time highs just under like $300 that it made back in 2021. And, it's had a wild ride over the past couple years with all the recent stock crashes and all that stuff. But now, what we're seeing is, some of these dip buyers come in. Now, these call options are in the money, so it's just a safer way to buy call options. For those of you who don't know how call options work, this is essentially a bet that, if Square goes up, the trader behind this trade will make millions of dollars. Now, I will say, though, Tom, this option does have around a year till expiration, so I really, really like this setup, but I cannot stress enough, it can take some time. So, if Square's down tomorrow, you shouldn't be crying. Like, this could take, multiple months to actually play out, and I think the setup's really great if you're willing to let it play out.
Exactly. That's going to be the big thing there because, Square could go up for a couple weeks, maybe bounce off of 80 and then come back down to retest 65 or something before finally breaking out. It's been in this channel here for a long time at the bottom, pretty much between $55 and then I guess the overhead level somewhere real close 85 or 90, but I like Square here too. I think that's a great play to follow if you guys have the patience for it. If you have a small account and this would take up the whole account and you obviously don't want to tie that up for a whole year, then don't do a play like this. But if you're looking at Square, maybe this would be a decent one to follow. I really like it that it's in the money at that 62.50 strike. I know a lot of you guys probably wouldn't go after that strike, but I would highly recommend doing that. That would be a lot safer.
Yep, so keep a close eye on this one going forward. It has some pretty solid movement, but I'm pretty excited for tomorrow. We're seeing some of this euphoric price action that we haven't seen with some stocks in a while. Of course, Nvidia's, making a new high. Surprise, surprise. They did this a ton of times this year, but I'm loving some of the price action that we're seeing out of these growth stocks, whether it be Square or DraftKings or Upwork or Coinbase or any stock like that. We haven't seen that in quite a while, and I love this momentum. And if you guys are looking to capitalize on it, it's time to join the stat modeling program. It's that first link in the description in the comments down below. You'll be able to talk to Tom and myself basically all day long. And you get access to our sniper bot and the hybrid bot and the bot stats channel and the swing plays and the golden sweeps and the multi-million-dollar hedge fund trades and a bunch of other stuff I didn't even name. So it's well worth it if you're into short-term trading. We have just about every tool you can imagine. So definitely check it out. You can cancel at any time. But besides that, Tom, is there anything else on your mind before we close out?
Yeah, really, I think we covered it all today. Just keep in mind, those big earnings tomorrow with the banks are going to be very, very important before the market opens, obviously. Keep those on watch. That could change things right now. If these banks report really bad numbers, that could change, the outlook maybe on a lot of stocks here. But I don't think that'll happen. I think the banks will come in fairly decent. And as we know, a lot of these bigger banks like JP Morgan have also been picking up some of those smaller banks' assets and stuff like that for really cheap. So maybe that's even helping some of them out.
Great point. I'm very glad you brought that up. So keep that in mind for tomorrow. And if you guys are new to the channel, of course, make sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, you'll see our videos recommended to you more often. But besides that, let's have an amazing end to the week.